Welcome to everyone joining us. Looking forward to the big race day on the 28th, which is Saturday of January. And we're looking forward to the big race day. And it's going to be an awesome day's racing. Joining me on the line, none other than Graeme Hawkins. Graeme, how are you doing and how's things going?
All good, thank you, Sheldon. Really looking forward to a bumper day's racing, and the fact that Hong Kong are taking races 4 to 12 is a real boost for us. So yeah, all signs point to a wonderful, wonderful day's racing. Many of the races challenging, but perhaps not so the first race.
Looking from a betting perspective, they've catered for just about each and every individual. You mentioned the Hong Kong pool and all the other bets on offer. There's a bet for everybody on the day.
No doubt about it. Big punter, small punter, leisure punter, once-a-year punter. We've got 3 jackpots, 2 buy-pots, many carryovers, expecting a pick 6 pool of 10 million rand and a quartet pool on the main race, the WSB Cape Town Met of 5 million with the 1 million rand carryover to give it a nice lift. So as you say, lots happening and many punting opportunities.
12 races on the card, so let's get straight into the action. Race number 1 due off at 12 noon over 1,200 meters. Number 2, Apple Catcher, is the money horse in the opener, has shortened down to 14 to 10. Number 6, Head Girl, is at 5 to 2. Graeme, looking at number 2, Apple Catcher from the Paddy Cryer stable. This is a horse who's going to come on leaps and bounds with the experience. No surprise the money has come?
No surprise at all. A very, very good debut. Seemed not to be fancied, was sent off at 50 to 1, nonetheless was beaten under a half a length on debut. Can only improve more. Sean Veal retains the ride. This is the first leg of Jackpot 1, so the jackpot action starts early. You may want to bank a number 2, Apple Catcher, but we can't deny that both of Andre Nell's horses have got chances. Number 6, Head Girl, and number 9, Jazz Diva. Grant van Niekerk has opted for Head Girl, but Jazz Diva with Richard Fourie up demands a great deal of respect. So I don't think we're in for any surprises in the first leg. 2, 6 and 9, that seems to be the order they'll finish. But it is the first leg of the jackpot. You've got to decide whether you're happy to bank a number 2, Apple Catcher, or you want to include all 3 of numbers 2, 6 and 9.
Well, there you've heard from Graeme. Either bank on number 2, Apple Catcher, or include the other runners on offer. But the money could speak volumes on number 2, Apple Catcher. On to race number 2, WSB Spinner Winner Slots, special weights over 1,200 meters. So take note of that. This is for the maidens. And looking at the structuring of the weights here, do your homework. And looking at the betting, number 9, Kariyaku. This will be my first selection. And obviously, the Christoph Sumunyo's in town to ride for the Eric Sands stable. 77 days off the track. The form line's looking good. I thought 6 to 1 was a big price, Graeme.
Well, there's no more 6 to 1 available, that's for sure. That's all been snapped up. Number 9, Kariuku. There's been a lot of money. And why not? The only time it raced down the straight at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth when it ran second to Wiley Jack. Although it must be said, that was in a work rider's maiden. So you're in the camp of number 9, Kariuku. That is my second choice. I'm going to go with the Justin Snaith Richard Fourie combination. Number 1, Green Falcon, in good form coming into the race. And you know, this is a day that Justin Snaith likes to target. He likes to have as many winners as possible throughout the 12-race card. He doesn't always get it right, but he has dominated on so many occasions. And then, of course, there's also number 4 on board. So this is the first leg of Bipod 1. But like you, I think I'm just going to go with the 2 runners in the opening leg of the first Bipod. My top choice being number 1, Green Falcon. My second choice being number 9, Kariaku, which is your first choice. I'm happy to go with those 2. My third choice would definitely be number 4, On Board, and then number 2, Seattle Greenlight. But it may be a match in 2 between numbers 1 and 9.
Moving along to the third race, due off at 13.10 over 1,400 meters. Number 3, Banika, has attracted the money, down 33 to 10. Number 6, Going Up, is at 9 to 2. Number 7, Live My Life, 9 to 2. 1,400 meters is the distance. Number 3, Banika, looks quite talented, being a 4-time winner, and also looks to be quite versatile. Where do you rate number 3, Banika, Graeme?
Must have a chance. This is quite a tricky start to the place accumulator and one of the more challenging races on the card, despite the fact that there are only 8 runners. It's an MR 100 handicap for the girls. It goes off at 10 past 1, first leg of the place accumulator. Banika must have a big, big chance. Won well 3 runs back, raced in in the Fillies Guineas 2 runs back. Was a bit disappointing last time, one has to say. I'm in the camp of number 4, Who Do You Love? Keegan DeMello teaming up with Candice Bass-Robinson. Won its first 3 races on the bounce. Comes out of 2 feature races back into this handicap. And I just think that Keegan DeMello should have a good ride aboard number 4, Who Do You Love? Who's at 5-1 at the moment. That would be my top choice. My second choice would be number 3, Bonica. Then number 7, Live My Life, and number 6 going up. But an interesting runner for me, Sheldon, and you will know this. Peter Muscat has forever been touting Bevy's Delight as a superior runner. She hasn't delivered on the tracks, but she's been put into every feature race that she could find. And although she's only a one-time winner from 6 starts, has got this massive rating of 102, I keep thinking to myself, Peter Muscat knows his horses. He doesn't overrate his horses. And this filly has obviously been a great source of disappointment for him. So she could pop up. She doesn't feature in my top 4 selections, but obviously she could pop up. I wouldn't be surprised to see her cause a bit of an upset here. But I'll go with number 4, Who Do You Love? But I think you need to include a few in the first leg of the place accumulator.
So number 4, Who Do You Love? Doesn't hurt running behind Make It Snappy and Ciao Bellas, so it could be the horse to be with. And you heard from Greame about number 2, Bevy's Delight, a horse that they really rate, and maybe this is the day that she decides to rise to the occasion. That'll take us on to race number 4, the Schweppes Majorca Stakes, weight for age grade 1 over 1,600 meters. Now, race number 4, looking at number 3, Captain's Ransom, from 6-10 is shortened down 4-1. Greame, there's not much more we can add about her record. These are one of these horses that come along once in a lifetime.
Absolutely, and of course she's won 2 previous editions of the Majorca Stakes, so she's going for a 3rd win in this very prestigious Grade 1 race for fillies and mares. Now she's down, as you said, to 4-10. This is a small field. She should absolutely have the beating of them all. There's only 6, and we've said so many times that pace makes the race, and that's my only little concern. I'm hoping that Richard Fourie will ride her aggressively. She showed in her sprints during champion season when she won over 1,200 meters, both in the South African filly sprint and in the Mercury sprint. She's got the speed. If there's nobody willing to go, well, he's got to take it on. He's got to be aggressive. He's got to go to the front and Captain's Ransom if need be. Obviously, there might be some pace. I'm just not sure where it will come for, because if they dawdle, if they absolutely crawl, then Christophe Soumillon on Desert Miracle has a bright chance of turning over the favourite. So obviously Captain's Ransom is the first choice, has to be the first choice. The betting tells you the story. Her race record tells you the whole story. She's multiple Grade 1 winner, and she's looking for her 3rd straight win in the Majorca Stakes. I worry about the pace and what effect it might have on the outcome, and for that reason, in the first leg of the Pick 6, we've said it's a 1 million rand carryover. The pool is expected to get to 10 million rand. I'm going to hedge my bets and put in both numbers 2, Desert Miracle, and number 3, Captain's Ransom. Obviously, Chancellor on very best form would have a chance, but I just don't know what to make of her last run. I thought that might be the end of her career. She was so disappointing. We know that at very best there's not a hell of a lot to choose between Captain's Ransom and Chancellor, but she's easy to back at 10-1. Her recent form inspires no confidence, so I'm going to go with numbers 2, Desert Miracle, and 3, Captain's Ransom in the opening leg of the Pick 6.
That could just be the safe route to go. As you heard from Greame, pace makes races, and let's see who's going to come out on top. And if there's no pace, Captain's Ransom, Richard Fourie, let her stride. Otherwise, Desert Miracle, as you heard, Christophe Soumillon, they might have a game plan and try and undo number 3, Captain's Ransom. So that's the opening leg of the Pick 6, expected to get to 10 million rand. Get those bets on. On to race number 5, the Cape Racing 74 handicap over 1,400 meters. Now, Greame, race number 5, I can't be much assistance. I think this is a race where you've got to go quite wide.
Yeah, it's the first leg of Jackpot 2. As you said, it's an MR74 handicap over 1,400 meters. In the old days, I would have said, okay, we've got a safe banker here, the coupling, the Snaith coupling. He's certainly determined to try and win this race. He's got 5 runners, all of which have chances. He's got numbers 1, Future Turn. He's got number 3, Give Me More Time. He's got number 8, which is Pashton Wali. He's got number 13, Nevada King. That's the choice of Richard Fourie, and the early week favourite at 7-2, number 13, Nevada King. And he's also got Bernard Fay Durban, board number 14, To the Moon and Back. Like you, I can't be too much help. I'm pretty confident that Snaith will win it. I think he's He's set this race up to win it. He's got 5 runners. Of the balance, number 12, Gentleman Joe, might pose some kind of a threat, but I think he prefers further. Winter Air might also find some of its best form, but its last couple of runs, it has a bit to find. But I'm going with the value here. Number 1, Future Turn. He's got the draw. I know that Richard Farias opted to ride Nevada King, but Nevada King is drawn wide, 1,400 meters. That could be a factor. So from an each-way perspective, I'm with number 1, Future Turn. But from a jackpot and a pick six permutation point of view, I'd be putting in every single one of the Snaith runners.
There you have it. Justin Snaith, Jonathan Snaith, Chris Snaith, the entire team. They bring the A-team to the race course on these big days. No couplings, so you've got to throw them all in. Let's speed along to race number 6. This is for the juveniles over 1,100 meters. Now, Graham, there's been a lot of money for number 2, Bohemian Grove, from 33 to 1 down 6 to 1. Was 4th on debut, just over 2 lengths behind them. How do you rate the chances of number 2, Bohemian Grove, to try and turn around the form?
Well, after that debut, we had all the excuses in the world. I'm surprised that he was priced up at 33 to 1, and I'm not surprised that they've gone in boots and all. There's a lot of talk around the town for number 2, Bohemian Grove. A lot of talk for him. So you have to respect that. Ricky Maingard is the trainer, promising on debut, was sent off unfancied at 66 to 1, found all the trouble in the world. But I'm going to make him my second choice because Sheldon, I was very taken with the debut performance of number 5, the Abdicator, the 2-year-old son of No Nay Never. I know he is favourite at 17 to 10. I think he deserves to be favourite. He completely dominated on debut and was never in danger of defeat. He won easing up. He can only improve further with that. And I think it must be one of the better runners on the day from the Brett Crawford stable. He's got a lot of wonderful runners on the day. Louis Mkotwa takes the ride. So I'm going with number 5, the Abdicator, but healthy respect for all the talk around number 2, Bohemian Grove. And, of course, number 1, Golden Sickle. You can't ignore the Richard Fareed, Justin Snaith combination, the 2-year-old daughter. She is a filly taking on the boys, but she won well on debut. So you have to respect. Fillies are often very much more precocious in these type of races than the colts. And then you have to like the debut of the Hollywood Syndicate horse number 6, Kupaliwe, but he's got 5 lengths to find with the Abdicator, and I don't see it. I know there's a 3-kilogram swing, but I don't see it. So a pretty confident first choice, number 5, the Abdicator. Healthy respect for Bohemian Grove, and Golden Sickle and Kupaliwe would be my next 2 choices.
Moving along to race number 7. Now look at that stake. 7.5 million rand at stake. The World Sports Betting Gold Rush. This will be run over 1,600 meters. Number 3, King Regent, from a big price of 20 to 1, has shortened down to 4 to 1. So number 3, King Regent, healthy respect. Luckless from the start last time out, so must be a big player. And then, Graham, this horse number 8, Royal Aussie, ran behind Charles Dickens last time out. Who would be your top 2 selections in race number 7?
Well, you've just mentioned them. This is, of course, the first leg of Bipod 2. And just to remind all of our racing fans, there's a Bipod 2 carryover. The carryover in the Bipod goes to Bipod 2, and the race 7, the World Sports Betting Gold Rush, is the first leg of that Bipod. So it's going to be a massive Bipod pool. My top choice would be number 3, King Regent. He's very well bred. He's by dynasty out of a half-sister to a July winner, so the trip, no problem. But like you've mentioned, he needs to behave himself at the gates. He needs to get away on terms. He didn't do that last time, went second to Without Question. We saw Without Question come out and run a cracking second in the Politician Stakes. They fitted the earmuffs to King Regent. And Grant van Niekerk will have learnt a little bit about him because that was the first time that Grant rode him. So King Regent would be my top choice. Again, I can't believe he was priced up 20 to 1. That was crazy. And I'm not surprised that he's been solidly backed. My second choice would be number 8, Royal Aussie. Obviously ran a cracker, although a distant 4th, 6.25 lengths behind Charles Dickens. It was a good run. Of course, that was the Hollywoodbets Kiddies Grade 1. So you've got to respect him. Winter Greeting, unbeaten 3 from 3. Filly taking on the boys. Will she get home over 1,600 meters? That is the big question. And then drawn little to the outside, but Christoph Sumion's mount, number 14, Dave the King. There's always been a lot of talk about Dave the King. He's been put in his place by other 3-year-olds in a number of the feature races, but this is a step down in class for number 14, Dave the King. And then a roughie, just to throw into trifectas and quartets. I'm quite impressed with this horse, Billy Spellbound. He was a desperately unlucky loser last time out. He should come into this race as a two-time winner. When beaten by Future Swing, he should have won that race. He got into all kinds of trouble. He was the most unlucky loser on that occasion. And so those are the principles for me in this race. But I would not be surprised, Sheldon. There's so much on offer. There's so much on offer here. And they're all still sort of relatively unexposed, a lot of them, and open to a lot of improvement. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an upset. But I'm going with number 3, King Regent, to beat home number 8, Royal Aussie.
I'm with you there, number 3, King Regent, and you're talking about a big upset, 40-1 about number 5, It's Raining William. That is a runner that I would throw in. I remember this horse came to KwaZulu-Natal with a mission, but never got to race due to certain circumstances. Throw number 5, It's Raining William, at 40-1. If that comes through to win, that could be a healthy result. Next up, race
Interesting,
number
Sheldon,
8.
if I could just interrupt you there. I do agree with you. If you he hasn't been tried over the 1,600 metres. Obviously, the furthest he's gone is 1,200, but I respect your judgment, and I respect the fact that Piers Stradman is riding it, and I respect the fact that he's a half-brother to Rain in Holland.
There we go. So throw in this individual, and if he does come through, I can assure you 40-1. I don't think this horse will start at that price. Maybe a nice place bet and throw into all the exotics. Race number 8 is a 1,000 meters sprint, Pongrak's Cape Flying Championship, weight for age, grade 1. Now, Graham, when you look at this race, it's always a race that you're looking forward to for the speedsters over 1,000 meters. How are you playing in race number 8?
Wow, this is a tough race. I mean, obviously, Princess Gala has been an absolute revelation in this season, this Cape Summer season over sprint distances. She's won over 1,000 meters. She's won over 1,200 meters. When she won over 1,000 meters, she beat Efiko by half a length. She's got a lot more to do here, but we know that she's brilliant, and the ease with which she has won suggests she'll be very competitive. But I have to say that I've got a doubt as to whether she can beat this field over 1,000 meters. If it was 1,200 meters, I'd prefer a lot more, but I'm not denying that she has an outstanding chance. She is the favorite in an open betting market at 4-1. To cut to the chase, I can't be much help here. There's so many with chances. But I do think that number 15, Bohica, who goes so well for Simanga Kamalo, and who won this race last year, and he won this race last year at big odds, and he's at similar odds this year. Michael Assey's a master with these sprinters. He's brought a whole team down. He's got 4 runners in the race, does Michael Assey. I wouldn't be surprised to see him win it. But of those, I'm going each way with number 15, Bohica. That would be my play.
20-1 currently, Bohica. You've heard from Graham. He's won at big prices before. So if you look at the card, there's a number of horses that are on value, on display on the day. Throw them into all of the equations. Now let's move on to the big one. Race number 9, the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met, grade 1 over 2,000 meters. Graham, you'll be there in time to watch the running of this great race. And when you look at the field on offer, you've got a 3-year-old filly, Make It Snappy, the daughter of Dynasty from the Brett Crawford stable. I've just had a word with Brett Crawford on the line. Very tough for a horse like this to come out and win 5 in a row. But the fact that she's got 51.5 on her back for the Hollywood team, the Hollywood syndicate, she's going to be looking to make some more history.
Absolutely, and why not? She's got wonderful form coming into the race, but Make It Snappy, Cousin Casey, they represent the 3-year-old crop. This race is going to be analysed every which way but loose by so many analysts around the country. It's been on everybody's lips for now a couple of weeks. So I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm going with the older brigade, Sheldon. In fact, I'm looking for a bit of an action replay from last year, not only as far as Bohica is concerned in the Cape Flying Championship, but also in the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met. I'm going the 1, 2, 3 of last year. First, number 6, Comedy Dung. That's my top choice. Second, number 4, Jet Dark. I think that linebacker represents incredible. I mean, he's completely the wrong price. He ran 3rd last year, and not that long ago, he ran 2nd in the Hollywoodbets Gold Challenge to El Mathana. And we saw El Mathana come out and frank that form. So I'm expecting a huge run from linebacker. I know that you'll be chatting to Vaughan Marshall on the line as well as for linebacker and Rascallion. So linebacker would be my 3rd choice. Then I'd put the 2 3-year-olds, 14 Cousin Casey, marginally ahead of number 2, Make It Snappy. I'm expecting Cousin Casey to prefer 2,000 meters, but These championship Grade 1 races at weight for age over 2,000 meters, they're supposed to be easy for us. There's supposed to be only 2 or 3 horses that can win. This year, there are 10 that can win.
Yes.
Golden Ducket, if he won, I wouldn't be surprised. Sparkling Water won, I wouldn't be surprised. If Universal won, I wouldn't be surprised. If Do It Again won, I wouldn't be surprised. Zapatilis is quietly fancied. I don't think El Mathana will get home over 2,000 meters. That's my view. Linebacker, Rascallion, even Pomp and Power can bounce back. So this is not a cut and dried race. But I'm going to go with a tried and tested. Comedy Dung to beat home Jet Dark. If it came the other way around, well, that wouldn't surprise me either.
So Graham Hawkins is looking for history to repeat itself, and why not? If the stars all align, the top 4 could come through in that order. I'll just throw in one runner for the trifectas and quartets. Number 1, Golden Ducket, at around about 35 to 1, throw number 1, Golden Ducket. So each and every punter, that have their own view, and good luck as we move on to race number 10 over 2,800 meters, a test of stamina. I won't keep you too long on the 10th race. Graham, your top 2 or 3 selections and fancies?
Nebras, the favourite. Christophe Soumillon teams up with Sean Terry. It's great to have Christophe Soumillon in town. As you mentioned, a couple of years back, we welcomed Ryan Moore to ride I forgot his name now, Rainbow Bridge. Just for a moment, my mind went blank. It was great to have Ryan Moore in town to ride Rainbow Bridge. It's great to have Christophe Soumillon. Yes, for number 6, Nebras for me, ahead of number 2, Senso Unico. Then number 9, Silver Host. Of course, Silver Host is a top stayer, but he's only had 1 run since November 2021. And that was recently. Might just need another run to bring him back to his best form. So those would be my top 3 choices. Then number 12, Chrome Yellow. But I'm expecting this to go the way of the favourite. He's at a perfect prep and he stays well. I'm expecting Nebras to win this.
On to race number 11, 2 hurdles to negotiate, races 11 and 12. Race number 11, 1825, World Pool, the Invitational over 1,200 metres. Graham, this horse number 9, Kitchakel, I've been keeping a very, very close eye on, around 7 to 1. I don't believe that this horse stays, so I believe coming back down in a trip, I think this is the horse that I'm going to be with.
Kitchakel, bright chance. As you mentioned, he won his maiden over 1,200 metres, and that was the last time he raced over 1,200 metres. So you can't fault his form over the distance. We know that he's highly regarded. That's why he was shipped off from KwaZulu-Natal down to the Western Cape for the Cape Summer season. So yes, I'm also very much a Kitchakel fan. I'm also a fan of number 10, Dance Variety. That's also found support in from longer odds. I thought his last run was pretty good. And he's a decent type of horse, this 3-year-old son of Var. He's well regarded by Adam Marcus, and the best is still ahead. Best is still to come for number 10, Dance Variety. And then, of course, number 11, Veldskun. I don't really know what to make of him. He won his maiden off a long rest. They backed him solidly. So that was a good win over Gimmy's Lad. He's the favourite for this race. I'm not sure about him. I guess you've got to throw him in. And then Poltergeist. He's a bit enigmatic. He's a bit in and out. But if caught in the right mood, then Poltergeist must have a bit of a chance as well. And USA's Hope, pretty much the same category as Veldskun. Not quite sure what to make of USA's Hope. They're completely unexposed. So my top 2 would be 9, Kitchakel, and 10, Dance Variety, with healthy respect for number 11, Veldskun.
12th and final event. If you're in the pound seat, you'll be sitting pretty. If you're looking to make money, good luck in race number 12. It doesn't get any easier over the 1,200 metre trip, due off at 1855. When you look at the betting, Graham, they're betting 7 to 1 the field, and I think that tells the story.
Tells the whole story. If you're playing into jackpot number 3, which starts, of course, in race 9 with the World Sports Betting Cape Town Met, it is the toughest of the 3 jackpots. There's no question. Races 9, 10, 11, 12 is jackpot 3, and you certainly would like to have the field here. I'm going to give number 4, Double Dream, another chance. Let me down last time out, but I like the fact that she's going back to the straight course. The last time she raced over the course in distance was back on the 16th of November when she ran 3rd to Shantastic. She was well back on that occasion, finished with a flourish to get within 2 lengths of Shantastic. I think she's probably slightly better down the straight, so I'm going to take each way number 4, Double Dream. I think that'll run well, but there's so many with chances. As you say, they're betting 7 to 1 the field. Mulberry Street was impressive on debut. That form hasn't worked out that well, though, so we'll have to wait and see just how good Mulberry Street is. Flying First is in the betting. Copper View has a chance, so does Strawberry Light. It's wide open, but I'll take my chances in the last with Vaughan Marshall's runner number 4, Double Dream, at big odds.
I'm sure in agreement that bring it on. The countdown has begun. There's been a lot of hard work done, and now it's time for race day. So when we get to the races, or when you get to the races, I'm sure it's going to look absolutely spectacular. To all the sponsors and everybody on the day, I'm sure everything's going to go according to plan, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you very much, Graham.
Thank you, Sheldon. As always, great to speak to you.
And then moving on to the suggested bets, we're going to go on to the Met. You're going to suggest your bet and give the viewers how you're going to go?
Yeah, well, it's a quartet carryover, so we're expecting a big pull. So I'm obviously going to have a dip at the quartet. As I said earlier, there's so many with chances, but I'm going to double float Jet Dark and Comedy Dung with all of numbers 1, 2, 7, 8, 10, 14, 16, and 17. Take whatever percentage you can afford. But I do notice that we differ slightly because you've included a few horses that I haven't. So that's how tricky it really is. But I'll take my chances with that quartet, double floating, Jet Dark, and Comedy Dunk. Looking for a repeat of last year.
Well, thank you very much, Graham, and have a wonderful day's racing. As we move on to my bet, I've thrown in a few roughies. I'm just taking a little bit of a chance, and let's see how things map out. I've gone the boxed exacta, numbers 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, and 9. So let's hope that one of our bets come through, or both of them try and come through, and you get a little bit of the action. You add a few of your fancies in. It's going to be a tremendous day's racing for all. So best of luck to each and every one of you out there. It promises to be an action-packed race day, and enjoy it.